All right. Welcome to the show today. We have Ant, of course. We have Kit Kat, and we have Lieutenant Gubernatorial Candidate for the state of Texas, Aaron Sorrells. Welcome, Aaron.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Aaron.
If you'll tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of what led you to run for what you're running for, and give us a little background.
So, a little bit about me. Married for 17 years. Been with my wife 19 total. Got 3 boys. Small business owner. Kind of done everything. I'm not a guy with a degree, so it turns out you can still run a business and be successful without one of those, even though they don't like to tell you that anymore. And I'm not in a lot of debt because of it. It's amazing. But you know, done a lot of things in my life, but ultimately I realized that I don't like working for the standard corporation because they don't let you be yourself. They don't really like you to be outspoken, and they want you to just be a peon, kind of like our establishment that is, you know, sheep that follows along. So went back, started helping my dad build a business, and we've done very good. And even through Corona, we've actually hired 17 people, and those are all legal people, and they all get paid very good wages until they continue to push the minimum wage up, which is then going to cause my guys not to make what they want to make. So other than that, that's basics of my life. From there, what got me into this is 4 weeks ago. It's been about 5 weeks now. My son was doing jiu-jitsu. He broke his foot. And the fear I've had for 2 years basically was the time that I had to go deal with the mask situation and my child. And what ended up happening is I walked into an urgent care facility and they said, "Put your mask on." And I said, "I can't. I have 2 medical conditions. Take care of my son. He's got a broken foot. You're seeing me carrying him in." And they said, "No." When I said, "Go get a nurse," they said, "Okay." Brought out a nurse. I stayed way to the back, just trying to be polite without a mask on. They said, "Once again, where's your mask?" And I said, "Don't have it." They said, "We can't help you." They said, "We can't take your son back basically without it." And I said, "I'm aware of that because you can't just take my son away from me and without parental guidance, you know, without a parental figure there." And I said, "Go get somebody else." Let me explain how busy this place was. They could bring out 2 more nurses because they had nothing better to do. You know, coronavirus, it's deadly. Entire lobby empty. And they came back out again and said, "Doctors," we talked to the doctors. "No, we can't do anything." They actually said, "Hey, come up here." And I said, "Okay." My head like, that's a bit hypocritical. They got me about this far from them at the counter.
With no mask on.
With no mask on, and said, "We're not denying you service." And I said, "What? You're not denying me service?" Like as if I wasn't going to say that out loud. There was nobody there really to hear it. And they proceeded to tell me, "You can put a mask on, so we're not denying you service. You're choosing. And it's company policy, hospital policy, and you don't get a choice." And so luckily we already knew this was probably coming. My wife was on her way. And I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, why didn't you just put your mask on? Your son's important, isn't he?" Well, my son has the same medical conditions with breathing. That's why he was sitting there without a mask on at the same time. And as I explained to them, I would be in the hospital next door by the time we were done, as long as hospitals take to do things. So I have to jeopardize one or the other. If my son was in a life-threatening condition, yes, I would have put a mask on because my son is more important than my own health at that point. But it's beyond that. It's the point that now I can't go to the follow-up appointments. I can't go to any of my children's follow-up appointments at a children's hospital because I can't wear a mask for my own medical conditions. So one thing led to another. I made a bunch of calls, called our Attorney General's office. They said, "It's a private hospital. We can't do anything for you. Send in a request in. We'll look at it." Well, 5 weeks later, that hasn't gone anywhere. And one thing led to another, and now here I am 4 or 5 weeks later running for Lieutenant Governor of Texas. So I'm standing up. I've had enough of this crap.
So what
I
made you
think
choose?
that like that's what so many people are starting to do now, is because like it's here, like you're feeling it, like that's your kid, and it's a hospital. They're not allowed to do that. They're not even allowed to deny you medical care if you don't have insurance.
Healthcare for all, right?
Right. I mean, isn't that what their whole platform is?
That's what the left.
Free healthcare for all, right?
Yep.
it's what the left is for, as long as you comply and listen to what they want you to do.
Of course.
They never asked me if I was vaccinated. They didn't care. They just wanted me to put a mask on. It's control.
The surgical masks that specifically say not for coronavirus.
Correct.
On the box.
On the box. Does not work for corona. Okay.
Those are okay.
Yes. Exactly.
So what made you choose lieutenant governor over state rep or state senator or even governor?
Well, in my area, I didn't really have a problem with my House rep or my state, my senator. I'm not going to run for U.S. I care more about Texas than I do America right now. Sorry for you in Michigan and Florida. But, you know, if Texas doesn't stand up, then y'all are in for hell anyway. So we need to fight back. So I made a phone call and I said, well, there's county commissioner available and there's lieutenant governor. And if you know anything about me, I pretty much go big or go home. Okay. And my personality is not to be one of four. My personality is kind of to be in charge. My actual profile says I'm the executive. That's how I test out when it goes to personality test. So here I am. So you know what? We need change. I'm willing to take the heat for it. And I was involved in the 10th Amendment Center back in 2010, 11, 12. I helped with the 9/12 projects, the Tea Party, and we didn't change the top. We ended up back with the same top people running the Republican in the state of Texas. And look where we are. So this time I'm going to go for it, or I'll die fighting if I have to. I mean, it's just the way it is.
So give us a brief job description of what the lieutenant governor is, because a lot of people don't realize this, especially, and it kind of came true in New York when Cuomo stepped down, and then the lieutenant governor obviously stepped in, and everybody thought, oh, they're just putting some woman in the place, doesn't know what she's doing, kind of deal. And Texas is actually unique to the lieutenant governor. So if you can speak on that.
Well, I'll give you my basic understanding. I'm still learning myself. I'm not going to lie. And I also am not going to take what the establishment tells me. So I'm not going to listen to the people there that what I can and can't do. So I have my brother-in-law who is extremely smart, and I'm a smart individual, but I know when I'm outwitted in certain areas. So he is actually studying the Constitution. So I learn actually what my true abilities are, because it's not, nobody really understands most of these roles. So lieutenant governor, unlike most areas, people think of it as a weak VP. It's not. Lieutenant governor is actually the most powerful position in the state of Texas. And I would be the president of the Senate. There's where most places they elect one of the senators to be, in charge. And then I set a lot of the committees, do a lot of stuff with budget. The biggest thing we do is calendar committee. I get to control how things get to the governor's desk. I get to choose what gets voted on. And then there's a whole lot of other committees, and honestly, a bunch of them need to probably go. We make committees to do a research, and then we never throw them away. And we just keep giving them money and keep giving them money. And so things like that need to go. But effectively, if the governor's out of the state, I'm acting governor. If something was to happen to the governor, I assume the governor role. And there's a lot I can do. I can force the governor's hand in a lot of cases. I can dictate what goes on. And that's the thing that people don't realize, like with Dan Patrick, is he does a lot of it in the background, and most people don't realize who the lieutenant governor is. They think the same thing. They don't understand how powerful he is. Yeah. And so he gets to kind of hide in the background and manipulate everything. And then as much as Abbott needs to go, Dan Patrick's quite responsible for what's going on. And that's the thing, is people need to understand how powerful that role is. But to try to get into all the, the small details, it's a lot. I mean, it's on Wikipedia and about there's a lot of just committee, and it really doesn't really explain the power. The biggest thing is I have the control of the calendars. I have control of getting things through the Senate, and those committees matter because I can decide who's on those committees and what they do on those committees. And that's where a lot of our bills die, is in committee, so that there's no vote.
Can you remove people from committees?
Yes. Yeah, that's actually what Patrick just did. He got in pissing matches with a few of them and moved them around.
So he only got into a pissing match because they got into a pissing match with him. But when the Democrats fled, he didn't do a darn thing.
No, I mean, did anybody? I mean, we let them get on an airfield and fly off. It's like, you're supposed to be here. Oh, wait, you're at an airplane. Bye.
Yeah.
I mean, why did that plane leave the airfield? Why? It should have never left. But then Abbott jumps in and says, "Oh," and everybody backs him. We're going to take their salaries away. And then Texas Freedom Coalition, Sarah Fields, who y'all have had on here, goes and gets a FOIA that says, oh, during that time, the whole Democrats racked up a $300,000 bill on a $7,600 a year salary. Oh, and who paid for that? Oh, yeah, that'd be me.
Yeah.
And you, since you live here.
Yeah.
So,
but like you were saying, like the lieutenant governor, I think that people don't, like you said, a lot of people don't understand how much power that position has. But like we're also now in this really weird like time where people are really afraid of the power that people are having now that they're starting to see how much power these people have. So like if you could explain to people, especially people, I mean, obviously people in Texas, because that's who you're worried about,
right.
Like why should they trust you more? I mean, you know what I mean? Like we've got this guy up there right now and he's like, I'm a Republican, I stand for you. But he's doing everything that the opposite. He's doing nothing about the border. He's doing nothing about anything that he could be. I had no idea how much power that had. But like in a time where people are really untrusting of government overreach, like why should they trust you over somebody else?
Well, that's always the debate. I mean, we elected Dan Patrick through the Tea Party movement that I was part of. I mean, he ran on principled conservatism. That's quite laughable. There's not much conservatism. I don't know what principled stands for in that sentence now. But the biggest thing is I'm not a politician. And that's the thing. I mean, if anybody listens to me in my speeches, I'm trying to get better at it. You know, I'm not going to have a planned speech at everything. I'm trying to be as real as I can be and as authentic as I can be. I've got to be me.
Yeah.
And the thing is it's a gamble. It always is a gamble. You have to look at me. Like tonight, everybody that's watching has to look at me and decide whether or not they think I'm being honest. I can't do anything more than that. What I will tell everybody is that I believe in being a public servant. I've lost many a jobs standing up for rights of my employees. That's why, once again, I run my own business. My wife said, you can't do this anymore. You'll never be happy like this. And because I stand up for people when other people won't. I mean, look right now, I'm about to be 41 years old, which is, I'm still considered a young Republican at 40 years old, which is laughable that we now decided that, you know, basically only old people get to run for things. I'm not a filthy rich guy.
60 and plus.
But yeah, exactly. And, you know, we don't do anything the way we used to do it. I mean, hell, George Washington was 21 when he started, but supposedly we think we got to be 50, 60 to understand anything anymore. But my goal is to go in there and actually do what the people ask me to do, which the GOP gives 8 to 10 priorities every year. Just so everybody understands, it's kind of short referred to as SB 1 through SB 8. It's Senate Bill 1 through Senate Bill 8 this time. And we are asked to take care of those priorities. And we don't take care of those priorities. I mean, that's the problem. It's a game to everybody up there. I mean, let's be honest. He makes I'm supposed to run a $10 million campaign to make a $9,800 a year salary. Anyone want to explain why the most powerful position in Texas makes $9,800 a year? Anyone want to know where the corruption comes from?
Yeah.
Right.
He makes $9,800 a year. He can't have a real job running as lieutenant governor.
In theory.
In theory, yeah. I mean, luckily I have a business that can support me. And I'll be honest, I'm probably set pretty good for a while if I pull this off, because it's a 7-month run from a political novice that comes out of nowhere and wins. Trust me, everybody's going to want to know how I did it. I'm probably in pretty good shape. But that doesn't mean I have to sell myself to the establishment system and everybody else that wants to buy me so that I will push their priorities. I mean, let's be honest. We didn't get abolished abortion in Texas. We asked for abolish. We got the heartbeat bill. Mm-hmm. And while it's a great step, I mean, that we've already had a doctor that's getting sued right now because he still did an abortion. And he's justifying why. Why? Because at $10,000 a fine, he could go sell babies' organs for a lot more than that.
Yeah, that's the problem. The fine is nothing. But did you see, what are your feelings about the section? I think it's section 171. So it's the civil liability for, so essentially like knowing or unknowingly, if somebody came to me and told me that they needed to go and get one, I didn't know that they were as far along as what they were. And I drive them to their appointment because it says right in the bill, like knowingly or unknowingly. Why do we have to add so much crap like that into a bill? Like, why does it need to be 25 pages? So now if I drive somebody or if I pay for it not knowing that they were because it says knowingly or unknowingly. So if I didn't know, how am I being held accountable for that now if they make a phone call?
Because they're protecting everything they want to protect. Well, I mean, once again, so why didn't we get abolished abortion? You think the pro-life movement wants abolish abortion? There's a lot of 501c3s going out of business real quick. We abolish abortion. This is a game. That's the point. It's a game.
I was going to say, to me, it seems pretty simple. If it's heart's beating, you can't kill it. Cut and dry, end of discussion.
But here's the thing. Planned Parenthood doesn't use a lot of the modern technologies. And all they got to do is wave a wand a little bit higher up and they don't hear that heartbeat. It's not at 6 weeks now. It's 8, 9, 10, whatever they want to do. But it goes back to the same thing. Why do we write these laws? Well, we wrote constitutional carry. That's another one they say they passed, right? Constitutional carry. It's permitless carry. It's not constitutional carry. Right. First off, why did you take a bill? Why do we have to write another bill to give me back what's in the name constitutional? I want the laws removed that took my constitutional right away. I don't want you to write a new bill to give me back sort of, but there's like, I don't know, 200, 300 violations in that bill. Back to what you said. You walk in, and I think there's one that's like you walk into a building with your open carry, and children walk in. Well, now you're in violation because you're in range of children and the school children that showed up in a bus. How did you know that was going to happen? Right. Unknowingly, right? Back again, it's so they can protect special interests and still be able to do the things they want. I know law enforcement didn't want constitutional carry. But here's the thing.
Well, neither did Dan Patrick.
Nor did Dan Patrick. No, he didn't. And that was a game. Phelan. Yes, he didn't either. Phelan got mad at him and pushed it over and called his bluff. And it forced Abbott and Patrick to actually pass the bill in special session because otherwise they were dead in the water and they knew they were getting competition to run. So that's the thing, that everything is meant to cover, protect, cause people problems, write more laws. And like I said, on law enforcement, I understand law enforcement doesn't like it. But one of the police I recently talked to, a chief of police, said, well, I don't like this. But when he asked me what I was going to do, he said, I'll vote for you if you go for limited government. And so the next day when he's complaining about people open carrying, I said, look, it's this simple. Do you want limited government? Or do you want us to write laws that make your job easier?
Exactly.
And I know law enforcement has a hell of a job, and they're getting castrated by everything they can do right now, defunded, be made out to be bad guys, and their jobs are miserable right now. They're understaffed. It's not right, but our state government is putting more pressure on them. But at the same time goes, if you want me to get the government out of your life, then I got to get the government out of your life. Don't tell me, well, I want the government out of my life, but can you make this one easier for me?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work both ways. So we have to draw the line of what's limited government and what's for the protection of people. And for me, if it's constitutional, then constitutional overrides. I'm sorry, I'm going to go to constitutional rights.
It scares me a little bit, like knowing that police don't back constitutional carry because it's kind of their job.
I think most police probably do. It's once again, it's the upper levels, the people that are running the things, because it's always a game. That's the thing. It's always a game.
That way, like even in the military, like the higher up you go, it's like they become indoctrinated. They could become totally different people because now they're bought and paid off, and now they have all these special interests.
Correct.
Well, we're seeing a little bit of a switch in our men and women in uniform lately, and it's a little concerning to me. The very people that backed them while they were getting bombarded by Black Lives Matter is now throwing you out of parent the school meetings and telling you to put a mask on, and it's a little concerning to me. So I really hope
that Lieutenant Governor get ushered out yesterday.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Video.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, he wasn't ushered. He was literally thrown. They ran him through. He was pushed and carried by two guys through a metal detector. They knocked the metal detector over.
And basically
slammed him onto the ground
because he wasn't wearing a mask.
Yeah.
The lieutenant governor of their state.
Yes. This is what we're dealing with.
Like, how do you come back from this?
It's going to take a lot of votes, and it's going to take a lot of hard work, and that's the hardest thing right now. Is I'm still saying, I even saw a post again today, and one of the things we're going to try to work on is people need to understand primary. People don't understand primary, and I know we talked about that, and then you went and made your video. So kudos to you for doing that, because that's what we need to do. We need to educate people on what primaries do. The establishment runs out and the media runs out and says, "Oh, you're just trying to split the vote. Now Democrats going to win." No, people. The primary so we as Republicans can vote the bad Republicans out.
And so Democrats can do the same.
Yes,
Like,
Right.
yes, because here's the thing. In the state of Texas, I'm sorry, if Abbott goes to run, and even possibly Patrick. Now, Patrick gets a little shielded because a lot of people don't understand. That's my job right now, is to prove to people how much Patrick has done what he has done to us, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I've got a hell of a task on my hand to make sure people understand it, because Fox News runs him out all the time, making him look like a good guy. And
I'm going to be honest with
people,
you. Even today, I messaged Tex and I said, you know, I'm trying to get some information on Aaron. I was like, honestly, I can't even find anything bad about your current lieutenant governor, because Fox praises, like, everybody praises them.
well, yeah.
Like, I had to go digging and go an individual, like, wait, no. And then, you know, Tex is like, well, he did this, that. And then I went and it's like, why is he all over the freaking news like a good guy?
yeah.
Well, it's no different than the other night. And I've been talking this like crazy. The border is an invasion right now. It's not a crisis. It's an invasion. It's a nightmare for trafficking. My city, Dallas-Fort Worth, is the #1 trafficked city in the country right now. You think that's fun, having 3 children in this city, knowing that many kids are being grabbed and moved around?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And so instead of shutting down the borders, we let the federal government tell us we can't. And Dan Patrick runs on Laura Ingraham and says, please, 37 other states, come save us. Please, the red states, we can't do it for ourselves. This is Texas. What the hell happened to strong leadership? I'm a 5th-generation Texan. I'm really tired of my leaders and other people from outside of our state telling me how I'm supposed to act. Everybody says Texans are this, you know, this ego, and we're so boastful, and we stand up for ourselves, and we don't want to be messed with. I mean, it's our slogan, don't mess with Texas.
Yeah.
Well, mine's we're Texans. That means something. Well, when the hell does it mean? Because we're not doing anything right now, not from leadership. They're sitting around on their hands, playing games in the back rooms, passing around money, and telling us, too bad it's the federal government's job. I got told that. They tried to run me off. They told me there's no money to protect the border. None.
What kind of role can Dan Patrick play in the border?
Well, a lot of it is we could be writing legislation to protect and fight things off. I mean, there's different things we can do. And once again, that goes back to what can I do? I'm not going to sit on here and tell you I know every answer yet. I don't. And I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, I know it all, because that's a lie. There ain't nobody that knows it all. That's why you get smart people. It's the funny thing about Trump is they bash Trump, but Trump was damn good at getting smart people around him.
Yes.
And the best thing my dad ever taught me was that as a good manager, the one thing you do is you hire good people under you. You make them better. And that makes you better, because then you're smarter. And that's the thing, is I don't know everything I can do. I know that I can write legislation. I know I can enforce laws that I can make sure things are getting enforced that are on the books, because right now they're not. We're not protecting using our own Constitution. And I can push Abbott's hand. If it was me and Abbott, I can force his hand. I can make him uncomfortable and we can pass bills that put him in place and make it where he has to do what he needs to do. But right now we're not doing that. We're just sitting around saying it's not our problem, it's the federal government's. And that's, I mean, as far as the border goes, I have to be real careful, because I don't want to say I can do something I can't and then just be another lying politician at that point too.
So I know, like, back in 2020 when the pandemic was happening and Abbott was running wild of violating our constitutional rights, from my understanding is Dan Patrick could have called a special session to impeach Abbott.
Yes. He can do, like I said, he called the special session. The reason we got the first special session is he actually called Abbott's bluff. That was the one good thing I've actually seen him do this year, is he called his bluff. And I mean, that's the thing. There are rules, and it's hard to find them. And that's the thing. Without reading the Constitution, it's really hard. I've tried to look at all my roles, and it's always a generic thing. Like, you run committees. You're the state. I mean, that's the thing, is I don't really know what I'm able to do, because they don't like to let you know. And without reading the Constitution, you can. No, they don't know. And that's the thing. They're telling us we can't protect our borders right now, and it's in our own Constitution that we can't. Yeah. They violated the U.S. Constitution, and now they're violating our own Constitution. And they're saying our hands are tied. It's up to the federal government. We have it in the state of the Constitution. But I don't think they know I don't think they even know the Constitution.
No.
Well, they've turned it into identity politics at this point, because now you have Maxine Waters on TV and all of these MSNBC and CNN saying that we've knocked slavery back 150 years, and now we have guys on horses coming in. And somebody just said in the comments, there's 30,000 Afghan refugees right now in New York alone. So, like, you look at the fact that even if we do try to do something at the border, this current administration defers it to look like now it's a racial issue. But on top of the Haitians coming in, we just had hundreds of thousands of Afghan refugees in during a pandemic that you're making everybody wear masks for. And before that, you had how many Mexican, South American migrants coming through. So now we've just, I mean, everybody.
Like, how many people have we taken in total? Does anybody know that? From all
no number for that, Cat. There's going to be accurate.
2 million, I think, is what they're saying through Texas this year.
Yeah. So there's 2 million just from the southern border, and then there's roughly almost 30,000 Afghans sitting in Fort Bliss, which is in El Paso.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, it is identity politics.
Documented that we know about, not all the human trafficking.
Yeah, that's not the real number. And then Victor Avila, I was watching him. It's that guy. It's Agent Under Fire, the one that was. It was been all over TV and everything, and he was talking about it. That's not real. We only know so many. It's probably 2 to 3 times that number. If we think it's 2, it's probably 5 to 6.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is that it is identity politics. It's no different than what's happening. They had to bring out horses to start stopping everything. And have you seen the pictures? Now they're trying to say when they were having the rains that they used for the horse, that now because it's Haitians and they're black, oh, well, they're whipping them. You're the one setting us back on slavery.
CNN did change their headline to appears instead of was.
Oh, that's so much better.
But it was just like 3 months ago that our Department of Homeland Security was literally saying that the Haitians weren't welcome here.
Yes. And now Camilla is down there saying that it's a travesty how they're being treated and they're being whipped and it's horrible and we need to do something now.
I mean, but it's everything.
What's this is just, I'm just calling it, this is obvious. We all know this. It's just funny to me that you have people like AOC that are taking all these photos when Trump is in office because kids are in cages.
Like, where are you at?
Kids are, I mean, they're what they're describing at the border right now and what you're seeing, people are shitting on each other right now. Shitting on each other with not a single mask.
No.
Or vaccination.
Or vaccination.
Or any vaccinations. It's not even COVID. They don't have any.
Yeah, any.
When that sorry excuse for a press secretary is asked a question about Americans are supposed to show proof of vaccine, but you can walk across the border and not show proof.
They're not going to be here long.
But did you hear about the Brazilian president?
No, I did not know.
At the UN. So he went to a restaurant in New York City and he was denied access because he doesn't have a vaccine card. A Brazilian president here for the UN.
Well, I guess he can join in with what Pfizer's CEO. Pfizer's CEO can't go in there either. So
he won't be there long. He won't be there long.
But here's the thing: New York is part of like their mandate. It states in there that if you are an entertainer, you don't have to have one either. Or performing arts.
Yeah, LA County said that the Emmys didn't violate any of their COVID protocols.
But the president of Brazil can't get himself.
Of course not. We can't have the rich people following the same rules as us peons.
No.
Yeah, I mean, why would we have that? I mean, literally, it was like some people posted about the AOC event. It looked like Hunger Games. Oh, yeah. The way they were dressed.
Do you want to know?
The inauguration of Joe Biden looked like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Do you want to know why they just had to bring race back into this? Because BLM has been saying all week that they are about to protest vaccine mandates.
Oh, no, sugar. We have like an official update from BLM.
Oh, please let us know.
They are threatening an uprising if we don't put an end to racist mandated vaccines.
Oh, and see, I didn't even know that, Kat. I was just talking out of my ass.
I might put BLM in my.
I might put BLM in my bio.
So listen. So
I support this one.
Kamala, she's like, oh Lord, and Maxine Waters, she's like, impeach 45, impeach that fucking bitch. Excuse my language. They're like, well, now they're whipping people at the border. Back to BLM. Why? Because they're all about to partner up with the rest of the country now, and they're tired of all your shit. So you're like, how are we going to wrangle them back up? I know how.
They're
all
people.
against Haitians. They're whipping them at the border.
Yeah.
Slavery.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm like I said, all I heard my whole life was how MLK and Malcolm X did all this to help us get to where we are. And, all this. How the hell do you go in 40 years, 50 years, How do you get people to go for getting rid of segregation to, oh, I want to be segregated? How the hell do you do that to people?
Yes.
How the hell do you make that mind trip in your head to go, I want to go back to what we fought for the last 150 years?
Well, they just had that family like attack that Asian hostess in New York because they were saying that they wouldn't let them in because they were black. Well, they said, well, you need.
Whoa! They actually said that.
The people said that the Asian hostess said that they wouldn't because she said because they were black and they didn't have a vaccine card. So,
holy shit!
This is what you're doing to America. Mm-hmm. So the guys on the horses are that's what knocked us back 150 years.
Yes,
that's what it took.
Mm-hmm.
The guys on the horses did that. No, girl. No.
So, Aaron,
Joe Biden's the most racist president we have ever seen in our lives, and Kamala's worse.
I mean, let's be honest. Is he really a president? I mean,
well, he's a bag of shit, but I mean,
yeah. I think there's a few black flags flying around that might represent your opinion of him.
I'm here
still
for
from
it.
Jen Psaki.
We'll watched a lot of Fox.
Well, after I get off of Tucker, I'm like really fired up.
So we can circle back to Texas.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Hey, the border involves Texas, so Texas.
It does. It does.
And
so
it affects Florida too.
What priorities would you like to see as Lieutenant Governor be pushed through on your end?
Well, I mean, as I said, I'm a public servant. So one of the things I need to prioritize always is what the Republican Texas GOP sends to me. That's what the people of the state have asked for priorities. Okay. So for instance, real quick, let's just go through what we didn't get. There were 3 we got passed: election integrity. We don't have audits and we don't have physical voting machines. No one trusts it. So whoop-de-doo. We passed heartbeat bill. Good job, but it needs work. And it's still not what we asked. We asked to abolish it. Yeah, we didn't get abolished. And then we asked for constitutional carry. We got permitless carry. We didn't get religious freedom. We didn't get medical freedoms, obviously, since I can't take my son to the hospital. We didn't ban monument. We didn't get monument protection in. We didn't ban taxpayer-funded lobbying. We didn't ban child gender mutilation, which, on the special session, we got leash laws instead of that because, it's more important to worry about your dog. As much as I love my dog, I think child gender mutilation is child abuse, and it needs to be stopped immediately. Okay. Yeah. And so you look at all the things we didn't get. So that's my job. My job would have been to get those 8 accomplished. No questions asked. Those were the priorities. I should have made sure those got done. That's what the people asked for. Okay. Outside of that, I want individual rights focused on. We shouldn't have been shutting down businesses. I didn't shut mine down. I didn't make anybody wear masks or vaccines at my job, at my company, because it's not my right. And I keep telling everybody business rights are not really business rights. They're individual rights. As a private owner, you have an individual right to run your business as you see fit. That's your right. This business rights is another identity politics. It starts pitting all these things against. And then it gets companies, these hospitals that are public health facilities, that even though they're private, they're getting public tax dollars. They're getting away with saying, well, I'm a private business, so you don't get to have access to public health. So the whole thing is individual rights don't trump other individual rights. That's where we go on that. I want property taxes removed because they need to go instantly. I don't care what we have to do to figure it out. You cannot say you live in a free society if you don't own your land. I'm tired of renting from the government. And considering everybody from out of state keeps moving in here, and my house prices have almost tripled in the last 5 years, I didn't get a choice on paying that tax bill. And it's running small, lower income people out of their homes in DFW because they own their home. They've owned their home. They make an honest living for low wages. And you can't bash them because there's low-end jobs always. That's what it is. We need them. And that's why our businesses are getting killed right now because those people, a lot of those aren't going to work, right? Because they don't want to take these
Those are the jobs that none of y'all want to have. Someone's got to do those jobs.
But now it's running these people out of their homes not because they can't pay their bill. A lot of them may have already owned their homes. It's because they're being taxed out of their homes. Yeah. The government should not be taking your property from you, plain and simple. The next one is we have to defend the border. I don't care what I have to figure out. I'm going to find it because I'll be damned if I'm going to let this go any longer if I'm in there. This has to be stopped immediately. We need to fix the elections properly. We need to go to physical voting machines. We need to come in and protect the families. Our family court system in Texas are a joke. They're destroying families. The CPS system is playing games. I'm pretty sure before this is over, my family's going to get CPS called on us because they think it's funny and they'll try to make me look bad. And that's a good waste of taxpayer dollars because I can promise you my children love me and there's nothing wrong here. But they're going to try it. And that's the thing. They use all this stuff against us. So we need an overhaul of every bit of that. The child gender mutilation needs to go immediately. We need to get back to protecting the nuclear family and stop dividing families over small crap. And I know everyone, like, I get a question a lot about weed and stuff. How many families have been destroyed over small drug crimes and ripped families apart over stuff that shouldn't have done? We need to make it where things that aren't as big of a deal don't destroy a family and put people in jail. When we have real felons, especially a lot of illegals that are felons that we need to be putting in those jails and taking care of, not this little petty crap that, hell, everybody probably knows people smoking weed right now. Is that really stopping us? I mean, that's really not causing the problem. Like, I understand we want to make sure where people aren't.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. I know, right? Like,
I
don't know what's going on around here.
But to be fair, it's legal in Michigan.
I pass on grass.
When I worked at a gas station, and every night I got told, "Hey, I need $10 back in a cigarello." Wonder what that guy's doing. Clearly not smoking some weed, right? A day, one after another, after another, after another, after another, all night at Thursday night.
It's just crazy to me that, like, you live, especially in Texas, because I feel like your trafficking problem is probably pretty significant there, yeah? So why are you worried about, like, homegirls smoking a joint, minding our own damn business, when dude down the road's trafficking 4 children? Like, let's have some priorities here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like, Brian has thoughts on legalizing. He just asked thoughts on legalizing Mary Jane. I don't know yet. I'm not against it. We need to look at it because you do need to be careful. Anything that it's like alcohol, there still has to be rules. You can't just let anybody go be drunk off their butt and go kill people. But yes, I mean, as a Christian, should we worry about trafficking 400 children through DFW night or someone smoking a little weed? Priorities here. I don't think there's a 10 commandment about
like
smoking weed.
It's the same laws. It's basically, it's treated just like alcohol. Like, you can't be driving around on it or like
working with it. You can't be endangering people with it. Correct.
Now, didn't Donald Trump want work on getting people out of prison with small?
Yes.
Little
Yes, he did a phenomenal job.
I was just curious.
Yeah, and currently, as of the last
the current administration never did that.
They're not going to be doing any kind of reform. That was on today. They're not.
Kamala actually went backwards, and she jailed more people as Attorney General.
Well, she imprisoned the most Black and Latino population.
Well, she was Indian.
She was
Indian back in her California days.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yes.
You're right.
Well, yeah, she was the first Indian ever, right?
Yes.
But now she's the first. I'm confused.
Jamaican. We don't know. It's one or the other.
Well, I mean, they do support transgenders, and you can be whatever you want nowadays. So
yeah.
I mean,
oh, great, the trans.
I mean, I get to pick whatever I want. I can be a rhino, right? I mean, not a rhino.
No, you better not do that. Hey, easy on that.
Hey, yeah, no, can't be that. But everybody in office is a rhino, and so we're used to seeing that, right? I mean, it's you can be whatever you want. You can say you're a Republican, but you can end up being a rhino.
For those who voted for Biden that might catch this podcast, listen to me. Trump did more than the current administration for African Americans. That's all.
Is that it? Are you done? You sure? Okay.
He's okay.
What about the gays? You want to go on to the gays too? I mean,
no, we were on this before it went live. You don't want to get me going again.
It's so funny that out of all of us, it's the gay guy that you don't want to get going about it.
All Kamala's got to do is wear a beaded blouse and run off the street. And the gays are like, oh my God, I love her.
I'm gonna leave that one
Aaron,
alone. I'll let him handle that.
Caught my videos.
Yeah, let the gay man.
Hey, trust me.
I told you we were
I've
gonna
had
have
gay
fun,
friends
Aaron.
thing, right? But I have had gay friends in the past that I worked with, and I love it because I'm loud and I'm obnoxious, and I'm good with it because it's kind of in your face, and people don't like it about me. They're like,
no. But
why are you so loud? And it's like, because I'm awake. That's why.
But why does everybody pretend that like politicians don't act like people? People are people. We all have normal conversations. We're all sitting at home talking about how this is bullshit, how this is ridiculous, making jokes about it, regardless of how you feel about it. So I think that as someone who's running for a position, it's awesome that we can get you candid because that makes you a real person now. Like,
and I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna be one. Like, there's gonna be some things you still have to be politically savvy, right? You need to be careful not to put your foot in your mouth, like Dan Patrick a few weeks ago when he basically left it open that unvaccinated black people are responsible for COVID spread in Texas. That's our current leadership.
What?
But yes, he didn't say it, but he basically, he basically walked right into that one, right? So that's the thing is we're going to make mistakes. You're going to say things, but I would rather be honest and real than sit up here and pretend I'm some special person that's better than you. And as I told one of my bosses before they fired me, I don't care if he's the VP of the company. I was dressed nicer than him and I said nice things to him. I'm not getting down on my knees for him.
Well, and at the end of the day, you're also like, you're doing an interview. Like every time that you speak is an interview. Anytime that you can go and get that. And I think that a lot of people that are running for office forgot that they work for us and forgot that we matter and what we want actually matters.
No, that's not how it works. Come on now.
Well, I can tell you,
once I win, I'm up here and y'all are down here, right? No, that's not how it works.
$9,000 a year salary.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was I told? I was told I can't run because I don't have a resume. And I was like, that's laughable. I think most people would rather be that I'm not a politician. But I was like, I'm pretty sure I can go down to McDonald's and make more than $9,800 a year. So I don't know what I need a resume for.
Yeah.
I guess, it's more important to have a resume for less money. So.
Well, I can tell you, so like we were hanging out outside of Chad Prather's event the other night, and Aaron got a text that a guy wants to fund his campaign. And my first reaction was, cool. I mean, that's good news. And he says, well, we'll see what he wants me to do because I'm not going to be bought.
That's correct. I'm not. If I got to do the hard way, I'll do it the hard way. I'm not. If someone gives me a bunch of money, I don't know what he's talking. I don't know what we're talking, but I don't care. If it's a bunch of money and they want me to do something for them, it's understandable as long as that is within my moral compass and things that we need to accomplish as a state, right? I imagine anybody's going to give you potentially millions of dollars. They're going to want something out of it. And it's like, that's just being a little grateful. But if that's bad things against my morals, against the things that we need to fix in Texas, no, I'm not. I will flat out say no. It's not. That's what's wrong with it. It's who can be bought. It's not about protecting anything. It's about who can be bought so they can live their nice little lives up there in Austin in that cesspool that it's become. And just looking down upon all of us like we're something special, like that we're just beneath them now. I think that's that's what we got rid of. We fought a war. It's called, what did you have to say, 1776, bitches? We fought a war to get away from kings and queens and people that thought they ran our lives. And yet we're more oppressed now.
It's racist. 1776 is racist. All of it, the whole year, everything to do with it. It's all racist, and we can't talk about it anymore.
Ant needs to calm down over there. He's ready to go again.
Ant, can you take that racist flag down behind you too? By the way,
it's triggering.
Can I just say?
Yes.
When what really I'm a triggered conservative. I don't care.
No, you need to be. Everybody is. You're pissed off.
When somebody said that, when I saw an article yesterday that said, or 2 days ago, or a week ago, whatever, they said that the fuck Joe Biden thing is now considered a crime after I've watched the last 4 years of people doing videos of assassinating Donald Trump, holding severed heads of Donald Trump, saying fuck Donald Trump. Okay, guess what? If you're going to come and get me for saying fuck Joe Biden, come and get me.
Well,
I'm running for lieutenant governor. Fuck Joe Biden. I'll say it. Come get me.
Fuck
I
Joe
don't
Biden.
care. We have freedom of speech in this country. So we can say whatever we want.
Yep,
this is what's wrong. The PC political culture is destroying our country. We had, before we were live, we were joking about stuff, and that's the point. We used to be able to laugh at the differences in ourselves. That's what makes us different. I don't want every white guy to be the same. I don't want every black guy to be the same. I don't want every gay person to be the same. Be yourself. Laugh at what's wrong with you. Yes, I'm 6'3" and I'm skinny. Go ahead, call me names. It's okay. It's what, you got to have fun with your life. And if you can't, then you'll never survive this world. And that's the problem. We're so afraid that someone's going to offend us or make fun of us. And you know what? I got bullied a lot for being that. And you know what it taught me? It taught me how to deal with that. It taught me real life situations. It taught me what people are like and how to deal with it. Instead, now we try to, as much as we don't want bullying, sometimes bullying helps people. It pushed me to be what I am now because I needed that to get me over the humps of my problems I had as a young kid. And as much as
me and Zach talked about bringing back, remember the hashtag bring back bullying?
Yes.
We were talking about bringing it back.
They have so many pussies running around these days.
But it's things you don't want to see a kid bullied.
Like hardcore bullying, but what I'm talking
but we're
about
that generation. We're that generation of extra layer of skin, right? We're like, you did and if I would come home and I told my dad that somebody was like, okay, well, did you fucking knock him out?
Yeah.
Like what up?
That's what we were. Call us off the bus and fight right out here in the front yard. That's what I was told, and so I did.
Yeah. And then you're gonna have the kids. There are kids, and I go to church every Sunday, and I've watched for 10 years now. I've watched anywhere from 3-year-olds up to 5th graders, and I have a lot of questions with these kids, and I tell them, I'm like, look, bullying's not a good thing. It's not good to pick on people, right? It's not. I didn't enjoy that part of my life, right? But the thing is, there's a difference between people getting pissed off at each other and making fun of them and jest and doing things that kids are going to do naturally. You can't stop it. There's a difference when you see a kid that, has issues or, and there's things that need to be done. And he's, just uncomfortable around people, right? And he's awkward and he's a good kid and he is, but what happens if someone picks on that? Okay, then go stand up for that kid. Don't let it happen. But there's a layer that we need to protect, and then there's the layer that some people just need to grow a thicker skin. You're not going to survive life if you can't take it.
You can say grow some
balls.
Maybe
okay. You're being bullied because you're a dick. Maybe someone needs to punch you in the face because you're just a dick.
And sometimes those bullies need to get knocked the hell out because then they learn a lesson too about what it's like.
Right. I'm not saying bully somebody until they're like want to kill themselves.
No, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
A little shove, and a little maybe locker action.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Like when did the psychological warfare happen with people where it was like, let's get them the closest to like suicide we can get them?
Yeah. When this generation started to become old enough to get on the internet, we had this conversation before where it's like, we're the last generation of people that remember not like you were privileged really if you had a computer in your house when I was
yes
dial up or like we're like I'm going to my friend's house because they have dial up internet and it was very limited, whereas now it's literally takes you 1 second to say you're a bitch and post it on every social media site.
That would have taken me like 45 minutes back in the day, and it would.
And then you would have just changed your mind because by the time the dial went through, you were done.
Well, then your parents would have got a phone call because they had called waiting and would have kicked you off.
Yeah, and that too.
And I just want to thank y'all. I just want y'all to know now, if I really make this far, this video is going to come back and they're going to say, look, Aaron Sorrells supports bullying. This guy can't win. So I just want to know that, I'm still willing to be outspoken, and I'm not afraid of them because everything is always taken out of context.
You're pro-honesty.
It's the thing is, that's the thing. It's all out of context, right? You got to always make sure that you understand the points of what we're talking about. And now that's going to come back, and I'm going to get told, look what you did, but I don't care because I don't care about that culture. It's kind of like Chad Prather. Y'all have had him on. And what does he talk about? We need to go back to toxic masculinity. Because men need to be men and women need to be women. And we need to understand what makes that better. There are men men and women make each other better if done right.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are abusive men. There are abusive women. We don't work in the outlying areas. We work in what makes things work. And we can make each other a lot better if we would start being who we are.
Yeah.
Because my wife likes it when I stand up for things and I protect them. And I, that's what my wife wants. It's the comfortable. She wants to know that she's protected. That's what men are for. We're stronger.
And what was wrong? And what's so wrong with that? Like, I remember growing up and my dad was like the man. Like he would come home like rugged and dirty. And guess what? If he had to whoop my ass, that mother was whooping my ass today.
What was it was the worst phrase that we used to hate is wait till your dad gets home.
Wait till your father gets home.
Yes.
How many times a day do you guys hear me say?
And that's when you were like, oh shit, here we go
my
again.
My mom would handle enough, and then if it was too much, she's like, I can't wait until your father gets home.
Yes.
But what's wrong with
all
that?
Excited, like, wait.
Right. But what's wrong with that toxic, like, not toxic masculinity?
But that's the word. It's not toxic. It's just being a man.
Just being masculine.
It's just being masculine.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm tired of the left getting to control words, so I'll use their word. I'm not scared. Like, I'm sorry. Stop letting them control the words. It's not toxic. It's called being a man. Standing up for what you believe in, not living off the government, sucking everything dry, going out and busting your ass and working for a living, and being that prideful man that refuses to ask for something because he is a man, and that's what we do. Yeah. Now it's like, oh, I'm just going to sit on my butt at home and let the government take care of my family. The hell, get your lazy ass app up and go get a job. If it takes 2 or 3, go do it. How dare you sit there and watch your kids suffer on the government?
There's no work ethic. There is no work ethic anymore at all whatsoever.
But real quick, I want to mess up too. I missed something I did say. We need to be educating, not indoctrinating, and getting rid of all the CRT and Marxist ideologies. That is one of my other priorities that I didn't say a minute ago. So that shit needs to stop. Because it's destroying our children even worse than we can do.
It's teaching white children to feel guilty and horrific about being white, and then it's misrepresenting the horrific thing that happened and how we became what we became out of it. Right. You're erasing everything possible that could make us come together. It's going to get removed. Pull it out and get rid of it. Oh, they're uniting. Pull it out, get rid of it. Oh, BLM and the Patriots, we're going to do something here. Watch, it'll be something bigger than that.
So speaking
they're going to find another way to divide if they actually start going. I mean, and they are out in the streets. That's the crazy thing is I've seen people with BLM masks, with anti-vaccine signs. This is not a political issue at all. No. It shouldn't be, or a race issue at all.
Yes.
So speaking of sitting on your ass, one of the most important questions that Kat had asked me that hasn't been brought up yet, which I'm kind of surprised. What kind of gaming were you into?
What kind of gaming?
Well, I told her you were a gamer, and she's like, "Ooh, what was he into?"
Currently, it's VR. You know how bad this is? This is what happened. But hold on. So I have bought these to replace these to go in this. I don't have any time.
I don't have time
now. I don't even get to use them because I'm on a damn campaign trail every day. Waste them.
My friend Jenny has some, and she was showing me. I want some so bad. It's like
I want them so bad.
I got TikTok who sleep in them.
Oh yeah, y'all can't see it. I cleaned it up. This has become the VR room. Normally, there's black pads all around here to keep my children from busting into walls and my monitors. So yeah.
What kind of games do do you play? Like first-person shooter games?
Oh. Yeah, I used to play role-playing games. I've always played. I mean, like I said,
maybe not with VR though.
No.
Well, I'm an RPG girl. So
I started out old school, Ultima Online, all the old RPGs, and then I moved into Quake and games like that. And now I'm into mostly it's first-person shooters because I can get on, play a quick game, get off. But I refuse to admit that I'm getting old. I still think I'm as good as I used to be, and then I get my butt worked. But anyway.
Is your ceiling fan still alive or no?
My fan's fine. It's the cord that's missing on the fan side from when I was trying to VR chop, and I might have knocked it and spun it up into the fan. Just saying. We don't do this anymore. It's just no more trying to chop the VR guys in half. It's done.
I need one of these.
You can't have one of those because that makes us violent and makes us want to kill people, right? That's what the left says.
Video games are bad, just like Bang energy drinks. You should drink a Bang and then go in VR.
Are you kidding me? I haven't even adjusted yet. I'm already like falling over like this, trying to kneel.
I just bought a Harley off of a Bang, so no, we're not.
You drank a Bang energy drink and then bought a Harley.
Anything that's named Bang.
Oh no.
Well, not anything.
Never mind.
Do you want me to put? Hey, hold on. Do you want me to put Biden in front of that word? You still interested?
We can put Biden in front of it.
No.
Okay. So not everything. Okay, just making sure. But yeah. But yeah, it's
So
like it's a lot
where-
of first-person shooters is mostly what I play.
So, Aaron,
Roseanne's
where
my
can
hero.
people go to help you out? You know, get to know a little bit more about you. Like,
How
is
do we
there-
support you?
Yes.
So website is at Sorrells. You can see it on the screen, obviously, but SORRELLS, the number 4 Texas.com. Thank you for putting on the bottom. I also decided, because of Chad Prather's campaign manager telling me that's too damn long and too hard to spell. So you can also now go to the number 4TX.com, and that goes to the same website. So I listened.
Oh.
Have
Have
sometimes
you done the
people
Dan
think better than me.
Patrick from
Now-
Texas to your site yet?
Do I haven't done what?
You gotta start buying
You
the
want me-
Dan Patrick's.
You want to pull the Prather method and buy
Yeah,
Beto 22? Dan Patrick's already got one pretty well established, so I don't think I could pull that one as easy. But yeah, so that, I mean, all my social medias are under at Sorrells for Texas. I'm working on getting them all up. I'm trying to use every platform. So we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter right now. I do have Gab, Getter, Mayway. I mean, I'm trying to do them all, but
What about TikTok?
I'm not a social media guy. I
Are you
deleted all
gonna come
mine.
on the
and I'm back.
TikTok?
I
What
got
about-
TikTok too. I got TikTok. Sorry.
Aaron,
As I
if you
said,
don't follow me, we gonna fight today.
I followed you on Instagram.
Oh, did you follow back though?
Did you
Yes,
follow
we did.
back though,
He
Ann?
did. No, he did. He followed me back.
Did
That was
I?
a couple of days ago. Yeah, you followed me back.
Did
You liked some
I?
of my photos.
Usually it's
No,
the
Kit Kat did
I
not follow
follow
me
back.
back. I'm pretty sure though. So
Oh.
On Instagram?
yes.
I'm never on there. I'll go over there. and I'll-
There's the
I'm
excuse.
not.
Okay.
I suck. I do. I suck.
But-
Ask anybody. They'll
But
tell
anyway,
you.
Messenger.
Yeah.
Me too,
No.
Kat.
I do. I love you. I love you when you're in this mood.
I'm sorry.
You're like a whole vibe.
It's because
At least he's having fun.
Natural immunity to COVID, so I'm like Batman.
There you go.
You're like Trump.
You should have gotten the
Uh-huh.
vaccine.
Yeah.
If you would have gotten the vaccine, those symptoms would have been less.
I took the Trump cocktail, which was the monoclonal antibody treatment.
Yep.
I've beaten it, and now I feel like $1 million.
I'm a
literally-
survivor.
And you probably would have never lost your sense of smell and taste if you would have taken the vaccine.
Is that what they said?
But you would have given more people a worse version of the vaccine. So, I mean, of the COVID. So,
My
Bobby, go ahead and get
neighbor
your
is
vaccine so you
double-
can spread it to everybody else.
My neighbor is double vaccinated. He's been in his house for a month. He can't believe that I for 2 weeks and I'm like done. He's
It's
like
almost
what
like
did-
going around and taking the right stuff and getting vitamin D and actually being healthy. Oh my God, it actually
he's
worked.
like, what did you do?
I think it's the
said,
cigarettes.
Didn't get the vaccine. That's what I did.
Ants like I sat on my porch and smoked cigarettes, talk shit
Yeah, I
on
think
the
it was the
internet, got a
cigarettes.
Trump cocktail.
Forget the
and I
vitamin
went
D.
on
I
my
think it was
way.
the cigarettes. I think
I honestly think the
Cigarettes killed the COVID?
No, they say that. No, there's like studies on that though, that people that smoke cigarettes aren't getting it as severe as people who don't smoke.
Well, that's probably why Joe Biden wants to ban Newport cigarettes.
no, he wants to ban Newport cigarettes.
You don't. You at this late.
I'm
This
not
late
even
into the.
gonna go there
You
now.
want to go there? You want to throw that out this late in the show? Oh man.
Ban a menthol cigarettes because he's racist. I said what I said.
Thank you.
I'll say it.
so.
And-
Ant
and-
beat COVID. Just
the thing
Brian.
is, though,
That's all
is that-
Brian was asking was what did Ant beat? Ant beat
Oh,
COVID.
I had the
COVID.
Rona, girl,
I had the
It was a guy
Rona,
that was
girl.
asking.
and I
question.
beat that shit.
He still called him girl.
He's still got the laryngitis.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the name. Oh, sorry, Brian, bro, I beat that, bro.
But that just shows you like how old racist Joe Biden is. He's like, let's take their menthol cigarettes. Like, whoa, bro.
Like,
That's like not even a thing. That's like
Tell
an
me
old
you're
tiny
racist
racist
without telling
thing.
me
It's
you're
not even a real
racist.
thing.
Ban menthols. Racist.
Coming from someone who's worked in a gas station retail for 9 years, yes, that's racist.
I smoke menthos.
There are, but majority
Oh,
of them that are coming in by Newports is 90% the
Yeah,
black
you're the new
population.
black.
I mean, and
Yeah.
that's what they like. I mean, it is what it is. But if you ban that, you know what you're doing.
I don't
It's
know
just
if you're black, you
ridiculous.
smoke menthols. That's Cat. You're black.
I'm not. No,
You
I'm
are.
not.
That's the new way.
I
to
mean,
do it.
maybe you
Trust
were
me, I'm not. I'm the leader of a white supremacy cult on TikTok now. In case you didn't get the memo, Todd.
Oh, that's right.
I can't be black if they're calling me that right
That's
now.
because you're getting articles written about you.
Yes, you can.
Because I made a Harry Potter joke and still can't get rid of these people.
So she had a couple articles written about her over purebloods.
Well, I mean, at least you still didn't have like Sarah and have a whole country attack you. Whole continent.
I have Afghanistan coming at me.
Tax does have Afghanistan.
I started getting a bunch of Australia invites a couple days ago after I was with Sarah, and I told her, I was like, you better stop sending your Australia people to me now.
Yeah, Australia is big mad at her.
I just have the gay people saying they don't claim me, which I thought we stopped claiming people a long time ago.
I'll take you, baby.
Listen, I don't want to be part of the gay community anyways, so thank you, Kat, for claiming me.
You can come over to Confused Hetero Island. I don't know. I don't know what my island's called, but you can come hang out. We don't call it anything.
So I do have an important question for Texas.
Hook up with who you want to hook up with.
So, Aaron, can you call a special session about Texit?
Can I call a special session about Texit? I can call a special session. Can we put Texit on there? Yes. And I know they're going to ask. Yes, I believe in the Texit movement. I'm actually part of the Texas nationalist movement. I'm a member. I'm trying to get Daniel Miller, since if they're asking Texit, they got to be involved in this. I'm trying to get Daniel Miller to call me so we can not split the vote, because I believe that we have the right to put it on there. But I'll give the same answer I give everybody. If you think putting Texit on the thing is going to get us a seating with the tyrants that are currently in office in charge, no thanks. I'd rather go start shooting. So I think we don't need to have Texit.
I'm confused on what we're talking about. What's Texit?
Texit is
leaving
the seating from the union.
Yeah.
You guys aren't leaving us.
That's not going to happen.
No, here's the other way to look at it too. We need to push all the bad states out of the U.S. and keep the good states, and then you can just move into one of our states. Okay.
In other words, he's calling your state bad politically.
I think they're one of the blue ones. Yeah.
We're not blue.
Well, you're going.
Aaron just got politically correct.
That's because CNN told you we're blue.
That's most states. That's most states, though. I mean, when you get outside the major population areas, we're red.
Power.
Because here's the thing. So, like, my representative held up Texit from at least being on the ballot in November for the voters to decide.
Right, and it should be on the ballot. If there's not, what's wrong with that? Why? Because you might find out people are pissed. Well, then you might want to change what you're doing. I mean,
I think that's the most important thing. Even if it doesn't pass, but to see the number of people that are pissed, and it would make the GOP nervous, obviously.
Well, that's why they don't want it on there, because they know if it gets on there, then they're going to have to deal with the consequences. And what happens if it passes? What happens if it's that many people? They don't want that reality.
I honestly think it might be.
I mean, after the border right now, yeah. I mean, it's
if you guys had to vote on it right now this week.
Well, it would be in 2 months if it would have passed. Yeah. If my state rep wouldn't have held it up.
That could have gone through. I mean, I would be scared. I would be like, if I lived close to I would be horrified.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrified to have children. And that's really, really sad, because I'm very fond of Texas.
We know.
Well,
everybody is.
I'm pretty fond of it too.
Now, just to let
my
you
room,
know,
but I have
Aaron,
3 Texas posters all around this thing. So yes, it's.
Now, just to let you know, Aaron, to give you some backdrop on this. So, Ant used to live in Illinois, and he chose between Texas and Florida. He chose.
Okay, get him off this podcast.
I chose Florida because I like DeSantis.
And it was what was best for you, and you didn't feel like it was.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that.
Well, here's the thing, though. That's all short-term living, because DeSantis can only serve 2 terms, and so
I know we've had this conversation. It wasn't really because of DeSantis. I have family here, and I like the beach. I visited Fort Worth, and it's great, but Fort Worth looked like Illinois to me.
Hey, you better watch it. You better watch it. Watch it. That's my town.
So when do Illinois have a stampede going down downtown Fort Worth? Like
I didn't say they act like Illinois. I said it looked like. I'm a beach person. I like the ocean. So I chose Florida.
Well, there's a bunch of Western stores in Illinois.
What?
That's all Fort Worth is like Western stuff.
He likes the beach,
Hey,
bro.
No,
come
I'm
on.
talking
It
about
is not
the
all
terrain.
Western stuff.
The terrain.
Come on.
That's meant as a
But
compliment.
it is. I know, but it
I
is more
never
country.
not once
That's
seen
why I like
no
it because we're more
cowboys
down to
going
earth.
down the road, and I looked for him every time, and I was
because you came
disappointed every
east.
time.
You came east. You didn't go to Fort Worth.
There's cowboys here in South Florida. Don't you worry.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. The guy that's just too cool for school.
I'm so over it. Can we kick him off the podcast?
Can we have Aaron on every week?
Yes.
Aaron, do
Sure.
you want to replace Tex on the podcast?
Wait a minute.
We're holding audition.
No, I like
You guys
that.
take
No,
over the
I got him in
podcast.
person
You
now.
guys already took over
No, we
Pony.
can't kick him off.
We did not stop. Don't you dare start
No,
that.
you guys,
My
hold
God.
on. I got to address something. To my Texans, I love Texas. I will be in Texas on October 8th.
Is there some brown on his nose right now?
Yeah, he's kissing ass right now.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
coming to town.
Okay.
Texas, though, was not for me.
No.
Like, I have more connections in South Florida as in terms of friends and family. So it was an easier transition than Texas. But
Yeah.
I love y'all.
But where are you coming to make money at?
Fort Worth.
Okay.
Oh, well then you gotta let me know when you're here so we can meet.
He'll
So
be there.
hey, you know what though? But what you just said is exactly the point of what's wrong. They're trying to make all our states the same. They're trying to make us one union only and not individual states. And that's what's so great. If you don't want to be like Texas, go move the hell somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the problem is
Yes.
we don't have that individuality anymore. The left is wanting to make everybody the fucking same, and I'm tired of it. I want to be me. And you know what? I'm in Fort Worth, and don't you ever say I'm from Dallas because I sure as hell ain't from that town. Even inside
Yeah,
my
you
own
learned
state,
that.
I don't want to be declared like I'm one of the other cities. I'm a Fort Worth person. Don't dare tell me I'm Dallas. I'm playing games. People say it all the time. You're like, oh, you're from Dallas? The hell'd you say?
I was told the
y'all
minute
in
that I got
Fort
off the plane, we're not Dallas people.
Exactly.
Yeah, y'all in Fort
And I was
Worth
like,
don't
oh,
like
okay.
to be told you're from Dallas.
And Dallas doesn't like to be told Fort Worth. It's a rivalry between the two cities.
Yeah.
And when you drive across 35 and you hit 635 on Dallas side, you see the morons driving. So,
Well,
you know,
just
there
like-
it is. I mean,
It's just like the Floridians from Polk County. They don't like to be told they're from Florida. They're from Polk County. They're like, no, we're from Polk County.
That's because of the sheriff.
It's a different fucking place out here. You understand what I'm saying to you?
And I
You
drove
might
through
not
Polk
Been to
County. It
you
is
might not
different.
leave, though.
Polk County is different. I drove through it.
Oh, it hits different.
Oh, it's different.
It's
All right.
different.
So we
And they
have
said that they had my back, so that's all I care about.
there you go.
Sorrells for Texas. I'm sure your most resource that you probably need besides money is volunteers.
Correct.
So
And
they can sign up on your website.
yes, we can sign up on the website. I'm going to try to, the next few weeks, I'm going to be massively hitting all my volunteers. I'm not going to not reach out. You don't win a statewide candidacy like this, especially without the money that, you know, I don't have the big money. You don't win it without engaging all your volunteers and putting them to use. And I'm going to make sure that the volunteers that want to help me are put to use where they will help, because I got a lot of ground to cover and I can get to do a lot of good. And there's a lot of people that are pissed off as we are, and they will gladly help if you put it to use. So yes, I will be reaching out
go to the website,
and making
babe.
plans.
Yeah.
Can
So if
they
you go to
sign
the
up to
website,
volunteer on the web? They can sign up
Yes.
right there on the website. Yeah.
Yes, they can.
yeah, if you go to the Get Involved tab, you fill out the information, it'll go to him and he'll reach out and tell you how you can get involved and what all you need to do. So between him and Chad Prather and all the rest that are running to get these rhinos out, it's very vital for us Texans because they're not the big money bags. So we have to get involved, boots on the ground. And
What is that? Boots on the ground, drones in the air? Oh, wait, that was 2015.
Oh, I still like that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think I've heard that before from oh yeah, that's my governor saying it twice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
he can't get boots on the ground because he's got two wheels on the ground.
He ain't got no legs.
I can say that kind
It's like,
of
I
stuff.
ain't
No.
doing that shit with you guys.
Some things I ain't touching that.
Oh, I will.
That's fine. I'm not touching that one. Political savvy. I said sometimes you gotta.
Hey, Tex, at least my governor can stand on his own 2 feet. That's all I
This
gotta
for now. Wait till Chad gets in. Wait till Chad gets in.
I can't wait.
But yes, your governor can stand up. Mine can't. Your governor has a spine. Mine is broken spine.
Yeah, but but can your never mind. I'm not horrible.
Are we really doing that? Are we going there?
I mean, we can go there. I mean, my governor should be on FBI's most fucking wanted at this point.
Hey, at least neither one of our governors staged a kidnapping.
Well, you forgot she is on the FBI most wanted. She is on the FBI most wanted. She's the one they wanted to most set up so they could do something to us. Yes.
The FBI wants.
I gotta get my approval. I gotta get my approval rating up. Let me get kidnapped.
Yeah.
Wait, kidnap me.
How many people I gotta say? Thank God I ran from Illinois because Larry Lightfoot makes all
Beetlejuice
people look bad.
Like what is
that
Beetlejuice,
dude is like has no gay friends to tell him he doesn't look good. And yes, I'm talking about Beetlejuice.
Dude, like what is that? That's not human.
He doesn't have any gay friends, Kat. None of them like him.
Why do you keep calling him him?
Because it's Larry Lightfoot.
It's Lori Light, but that's a woman, isn't it?
She looks like a man.
She doesn't look like a man
going
either.
based off of her aesthetics.
She looks like that little thing from
It's
not to bring up.
ma'am.
Listen, this is not about her race. I am bringing up Harry Potter only because she looks like that little thing, that little like goblin thing that like Dobby. Dobby's a free elf now. That's what she looks like.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
Or Gollum from Lord of the
To
Rings.
top it all off, none of them can kneel like Kamala.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
Comment of the day.
That's a fact.
We should end it on that.
She's a reptilian.
Yes, Aaron, we appreciate you coming on. You're welcome on anytime.
Thank you for having me.
And hopefully you'll get on TikTok soon so we can help.
You've got a
spread the message
TikTok.
at least on there.
I have it. But like I said, I'm trying to get everything set up, and I deleted all my social media accounts. I don't personally like social media. I don't like what it's done to society. So, but when you get back into politics and you need to reach people, you don't have a choice. So
Yeah.
I'm getting them all started back up, and everybody's telling me I need to start recording videos on there. And you know, I mean, I just got to get it going. Like I said, step by step.
Well, let us know when you get it going so we can follow you.
We'll
start sharing our videos and whatnot and help you out in any way we can. And all the Texans get on his website and let's help this man by volunteering to help him out.
Appreciate it. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, guys.